Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 9 Thursday night football single game showdown on DraftKings. I'm going to look at all the different possibilities that we have, talk to you about a little bit of correlation, how we're going to attack this slate. If you've been playing Showdown in the recent island games that we've had to play on Showdown, you know that the pricing has been a little bit restrictive. You know that it's been difficult to go and reach up for that top salaried guy or guys and throw them in the captain spot, and it makes you make a couple of very difficult decisions with the rest of your lineup. But it was still possible to build lineups. Well, taking a quick look at the pricing on this slate coming up for week 9's Thursday night showdown, do anything you want. If you watched the first look video that I put out, you know that the main slate is extremely tight and very difficult to make plays with. There are plays on this showdown. If you build a lineup with somebody, I believe the number is 5,600 or 5,700. So a captain that is 5,700 or less, you can just roster the top 5 players on the list without any fear of running out of salary. So if there's a value play on this slate, and there is a possibility that there is going to be a value play available on this slate due to the injury concerns that the San Francisco 49ers have at running back exiting Sunday's game and playing on a short week, we could just have the absolute wild west where salary does not come into consideration, where you're just going to build whatever lineup you want, because it is very easy to build a bunch of different, well correlated, well thought out lineups on this single game showdown slate. So if you would be so kind, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and be sure that you ring that notifications bell, because I don't want you to miss any of the great content that I pump out here on this YouTube channel. Right now, looking at 1 to 2 videos a day, 6 days a week, constantly publishing new videos for NFL and NBA. And I want to thank you guys for returning. If you're returning viewers, or if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Let's just get right to the slate. You want value plays on this slate? You got them. The most expensive captain on the slate is 15.6, and it's Jimmy Garoppolo. Hasn't really had a fantastic year. It really hasn't been lighting the world on fire, but he hasn't had to. I mean, looking at his last 4 games, only one of those 4 did he top 200 passing yards, and he has 4 total touchdowns in those games, as they have really turned into a ground and pound, bully ball, defense and running game team, which is something that I think most of us did not believe was going to be the case for this San Francisco 49ers squad. But that is who they are. That is who they are, and that is where we are right now. And now they square off against Arizona, who actually has done a pretty good job against running backs and really terrible job against every single thing else that they've been able to do or try to defend. So Jimmy Garoppolo will probably have, no matter where you look at for projections, no matter what site you use, or if you do your own, Jimmy Garoppolo is still probably going to have the highest or one of the top 3 highest median projections for this game. But single game showdown is not always about median projections, because it is such a high variance game mode. It's more about a ceiling projection or a 75th percentile of that player and up projection. And Jimmy Garoppolo, in my opinion, does not bring that to the table on a game in, game out basis. So while I will probably, if I build 150 lineups for this, still have some that have Jimmy Garoppolo, I probably am not going to have my usual 10% of a quarterback with Jimmy Garoppolo, because I don't believe that he has the ceiling expectation of somebody like his counterpart Kyler Murray, who, albeit against a really difficult defense in this spot, his rushing ability and the fact that they're going to have to throw and will throw a ton, and balls that are difficult to defend, right? This isn't a 3, 5, 7 step drop sort of offense where you're looking into situations like, well, can they beat the pressure? Can they get the ball out quick enough? Are they going to take too many hits? Yeah, Kyler Murray is going to get sacked in this game, but Kyler Murray also, in a situation like a broken down pocket, has the ability to create with his legs, both behind the line and if he breaks the pocket and gets beyond the line of scrimmage. They're going to run some design runs with him. They're going to try and mix up San Francisco's defense, because we know how good and aggressive they are. Kyler Murray has a shot to be okay in this game, but I think that the position players are the ones that are going to make the better captains. Somebody like George Kittle, who is as good as any tight end in the league, both in terms of volume and production, and also in terms of touchdowns getting called back. Not sure that that's going to happen this week. Obviously, Arizona, the worst team in the league in terms of defending tight ends, worst team in the league in terms of touchdowns allowed to the tight end spot, catches allowed to the tight end spot. Usually, the only times that a wide receiver has really failed against the Arizona matchup has been somebody who did not have a lot of volume. Eifert earlier in the year. Evan Ingram, who was an absolute head case in the rain the day that he was out there, though Rhett Ellison did catch a long touchdown against them that day. George Kittle, at the price that he's at, in the matchup that he's in, with the volume that he gets, is probably going to be your highest owned captain on this slate. Somebody else who is going to be a really highly owned captain on this slate is probably going to be Tevin Coleman. Coming off of a 4-touchdown game, coming off of 2 20-touch games in the last 4, 16 against Cleveland in week 5, a really, really short amount of volume for him because it was an absolute blowout and the starters didn't play in the fourth quarter. He only saw 13 touches, scored 4 touchdowns. That's something that can't happen moving forward. That's a ridiculous amount of touchdown efficiency, considering they only got 13 touches. But he is their goal line back. They are committed to the run. And if you take a look at the running backs on San Francisco, as much as they want to run the ball right now, you've got Matt Breida, the oft injured Matt Breida, left this game and was a limited participant in Monday's practice. Anytime you have a short week, right, the Sunday with a Thursday turnaround, you only get 2 practices, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday's a travel day, and then Thursday is game day. So it is not beyond the realm to believe that somebody like Matt Breida may sit for this game. We'll know, obviously, before lock, an hour and a half, 90 minutes before lock, they have to release the actives and inactives. And Raheem Mostert, also limited participant in Monday's practice. I'm not sure that both of them are going to play. And there is a non-0% chance that both of them sit. And in that non-0% chance, Jeff Wilson at 2,000 becomes an absolutely ridiculous captain play at 3,000 in captain and 2,000 in flex, and more than likely one of the higher owned players on the slate because he just opens up everything for you. If you were to plug Wilson Jr. in with Tevin Coleman at captain, you have 8,600 remaining for the rest of your players. You can't even spend all the money. Don't copy that lineup. The point of that is not that it's a great lineup. The point of that is you just can't possibly spend all the money. You know, it becomes a situation where it's almost too easy. Where if you plug in Kittle into the captain spot and Jeff Wilson is a play, and you correlate him with Garoppolo and you put Coleman in there, and you say, okay, I need somebody on the other team, right? I need somebody on the other team. So let's plug in Christian Kirk. We have 7,600 remaining. Easy peasy, right? There is no way to really spend all the money. And like I said, if you have a captain who is less than 5,600, right? I don't think Robbie Gould works. But if we plug him at captain and just click 5 random guys, we now have 5,900, right? With Robbie Gould at captain, you do have to come down to 5,900. But basically everything's open to you. This is a very strange slate. I do think that correlation is going to be key. We talk about this all the time. I said I'm not going to have very many Garoppolo captain lineups, but if I do, I'm going to correlate him with basically every single pass catcher on San Francisco, including Emmanuel Sanders, who had a really good game their first time out. 5 targets. 4 of them were caught for a touchdown. They didn't have to throw in the second half of this game. If this one does stay competitive, and Arizona has done a very good job of putting points on the board, it might be difficult for them against this San Francisco defense, but they have done a good job this year of keeping games that everybody thought was going to be blowouts more competitive. They're very good against the spread so far this year. That could mean more usage for them. Deebo Samuel, somebody like Pettis, somebody like Godwin. I'm going to put every single, and Kittle obviously is going to be in that group, and I'm going to have 2 of those guys with him. More than likely, I'm going to build running back groups with the defense. Also, if you've got Garoppolo at captain, I'm going to build a lineup that has essentially all of the Arizona plays at captain. I'm going to have all the Arizona plays with that group, including quarterbacks and running backs. If either of these guys play, obviously, we also have Kenyon Drake, who was just moved. If both running backs are out, then Kenyon Drake becomes the play at 6,800 in the flex. That lineup group is basically going to have at least one of these guys, and you're gonna have to make some decisions. Come up with some good correlated lineups that you think make sense, because you're going to have the salary with which to do it. Come up with specific game flows, specific game scripts that you think this game could take. I think that the defense is going to be something that's going to just crush. I'm not saying I think, but let's say if you believe that the 49ers defense is the captain's play, right? They're going to score a touchdown. Murray's going to have issues completing passes. He's going to take a lot of sacks, possibility of fumbles and an interception. You think that the 49ers defense is definitely going to score a touchdown. Don't know how you can predict that, but if you believe that that isn't something that's going to occur, you want the 49ers defense. You want at least one of their running backs, if not 2, because they do feed the ball to their running backs in multiplicity. It's not just one guy getting all the work. Kittle's going to have good volume. Probably want to have Kirk because somebody from the other team has to be there, leaving you 6,700 with which to play. If you were to plug in a kicker, somebody in my chat said that on Halloween, on this Halloween special, you do need to plug in Robbie Gould. Sure. I'm here for the dad jokes. Still leaving you 9,700. You can plug in Manny Sanders with that lineup as well. There's just so many different things that you can do on this slate because the salaries are not restrictive whatsoever. So best of luck to you this Thursday night. Have fun making lineups. And if you're trick-or-treating, be safe. For those of you guys who have kids like myself, have a great night in costume. Get around that neighborhood. Get some good candy. And I'll catch up to you next time. He's a legend.